Okay, we're live again. Today we will forge, let's go. Okay, whoops, bopped the microphone. Okay, so back to live chat. Hopefully everyone can hop back in. Stream just like died on me. And I'm really, yeah. Stream died, but I'm back up now. Guess I should add everybody. At everyone, stream died, but I'm back up now. Okay, hopefully that works. I don't know why it says stream health is excellent and it's doing that. I wonder if this is because we increased bit rate and maybe I'm having a network issue at the same time. Because there's clearly a network issue happening that's causing my rotation. Oh wait, rotations are back to normal. So I wonder if it was YouTube that was causing the rotation issue? Was causing the network issue? That was causing these rotations to be abnormal? But hey, look at that. That does look really cool. This shape looks super simplified because of how much it's been scaled up. But I mean, players are not going to notice it most of the time. And you could do something like increase scratches maybe, or change the texture. Like we've got, let's see. What is this one? That's for the pole. This is the aluminum. Okay, so if we change this to something like grunge dust gives a little more texture on there, but if we do like metal grading, oh, that's awful. Metal grading. See, I'll be lurking while I rank up. Sounds good. Yeah, man, I just had weird you know, issues with the system, so hopefully the stream doesn't go back down again. This adds a little bit, a few more lines to it, and a bit of extra texture to sort of help it be a little more interesting. And if you look closely at it, you're like, they don't make any sense to have those lines. But if you're just walking by, you won't notice that it's even that. But there are some other textures that are probably even better. But man, this is actually really cool. Man, I wish that the stream hadn't died, because those suggestions he was given were really cool. I really like this one a lot. If we go and scale it up a bit, it's already snapped to position. So if we scale it up, we could theoretically get it to be lined up with the stairs. Actually, let's go a little bit more, apparently. To be there. There we go. It's snapped to the right height, and now it's there. And can we clamor it still? Oof. The staircase is a little bit shorter than the difference in there. So this is kind of unfortunate. But, yeah. I also think I might have made it a little too thick, but if I shrink it, it might... Oh, good, it goes to the base. Okay, cool. That works. Let's see if there's another... If there's a panel we can, like, with bolts on it. That might be cool. And then we can actually put, like, a concrete block down here. Like they deployed and then dropped a plate or a concrete block of some kind into position and then bolted it down. But yeah, this definitely is cool. Oh, there's some weird Z-fighting just in this object itself. That is weird. I wonder if it's about the scale. If I increase scale again, will it go back? No, it didn't. Undo is doing nothing. I wonder if I had to hold down the undo button to make it work. So apparently that's what the solution is. You hold it down. Let's see. Okay. So, okay, well anyway, let's change texture here. Okay. If I might want to put this as the bottom of it, and then put another panel on top of it. Because the top of this doesn't look as interesting as the bottom. Bottom down here looks really cool as a base. But I feel like up here, if you look at it in detail, you start seeing some Z-fighting, you see some other problems. Maybe we'll go ahead and attempt to find something to put on top of it. That would be really cool. But also there was more than one, so let's see. Oh, let's see about this one. This one would make probably a good one too. So you hold it down and it will eventually flip over. So there's a good column as well. I mean, heck, even if you just like leave this at this scale almost, yeah, or just make it a little bit taller so it'll get to the right height we're looking for. We could put these into corners. Not of these, but like because that would be kind of pointless to have the middle column and also this. But like if we went and did this, well, having those stick up might be really cool if it's angled in. Let's see what happens. If we do this, and we position it to bolt to the middle piece, in a way, that would actually be kind of cool looking in some situations. Not this one in particular. I don't think I'm going to do this here. This is just experimentation real quick. But this shape right here is really cool. It definitely would make a good column. And you could take advantage of those pieces sticking out up the top, you know, like that. You could clip them into, like you could clip that into a wall and have those poking out, and then have another strut coming out, and have these sort of gripping the strut. Like basically like how I did this up here. These yellow pieces are scaled down. You know, the crane has that cart that you can place. They're those. I'll duplicate it and then reset it, and then sort of rescale it back to its normal scale. So basically, it is one of these carts that you can find in there, which are really cool. And I just use it as a brace so that whenever you look up at it, it looks like that right there, that support bracket is sort of like, it's not just a brace, it's like it's got these little circles in it to where it looks like wheels, and it looks like this piece could theoretically ride up and down on here to sort of control this giant doorway to open and close. Which I just done a CTF match in about a minute and got 1500 XP. Nice. How did it take only a minute? Did you just like really like just crush the enemy basically? Because that sounds fast. Let's see. This one probably is not one of the ones that can be used very easily, because that dish is kind of in the way. It's just bots. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I just thought of something as well. What would this look like as a column? Man, these dishes are great columns. Like, look at this. Look how cool this would be, like, if you had a platform on top of this. Man, that'd be cool. Or like, you put this as a foot. It almost looks like an AT-AT's foot. But you put this as a foot, and then you joint something coming out of that piece. You know, like one of these or something. And you can just like, whoop. Well, I'll just reset rotation. There we go. Go back that way. You could like make this look like it's part of, come on now, there we go, it's part of like I could have used this as like the landing pad, you know, the landing gear or whatever for this thing, for having dropped out. You could easily use this as like some kind of support bracket or something like that. Level, let's see, can you remake burial mounds Halo 2 but make it earthy / water based? Level 46 now, water based with no water, haha, when water comes. Maybe burial mounds from Halo 2. That's the one that's the pieces of the Alpha Halo crashed into the desert, right? Or are they pieces of the space elevator? But I think it's pieces of the Alpha Halo, right? From Halo 1 crashed onto the moon that is nearby, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the one? If so, then I definitely could do that. It's a really cool map. It definitely would be pretty nifty. Remakes, though, I'm kind of, like Aaron, getting kind of bored. Not bored of remakes, but burned on making them. I like the idea of continuing to remake them in the future. But Waterworks was such a huge map that I need some time. And I still am not even technically done with it. I need to support it still with updates. And I need to, and I also need to, you know, I need to support it with updates, and I need to make hydrostatics. So I'm still not even technically done with that remake, you know what I mean? So, yeah. This would also make a really cool platform. Obviously, you need to change the texture of that ball. to make it not look like it's a flattened ball, because it's really obvious right now. I think I need to rescale this in all directions instead of just the two. This could be something cool. The way that it's sort of like framed and stuff like that, it could be something that you poke out of something else as a platform, especially if you were doing some kind of parkour map or something like that. Like you could position that like that and make it look like something that kind of like folded out. I don't know why it flattened so much. It didn't scale in all directions the same way. There we go. Like a mechanical piece that came out and folded out and gave you like a little platform to like, you know, hop on. Would be pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to use it here. But yeah, let's see. After the destruction of Installation 04, the Heretics used it as a surrogate and stand-in base. That's right. Another CTF match completed. 600 experience from me. Nice. You know, I think I need to do coffee before my streams every time because I feel so much more energetic and able to speak and able to keep up with chat a little bit. And I had been forgetting to do my coffee like every single day all week until after the stream was over. And I was like starting to get really burned on that. Okay, so basically we've got a bunch of cool ideas. Another one could be, actually, look at this. This wouldn't be bad. This would be kind of cool, actually. What if we did this? Huh. That might be cool. Obviously, this column would go away. This would give us very detailed columns with cross braces in a very realistic, like, we had to construct this as soon as we landed kind of way. All while being one piece, so very inexpensive. That is not bad at all. I like that a lot. This platform is really cool, but that central column now seems like superfluous. So I think that we're going to go with this for this building. So even though we didn't go with the specific column that that he was suggesting, it's at least we are getting, you know, we're doing something from that list that he pointed out was so good. And I thoroughly agree. Didn't realize, though, this one could be a good one. Where is it? Here we go. If you bring this down in a similar fashion, you could make a reverse tripod sort of effect. Why is it not scaling? Oh, it is. It's just slow. There we go. You could make a reverse tripod look. Which could theoretically be used to make something cool, although it kind of looks like it's an upside down tripod. So it would be really hard to figure out a way to make that not look like an upside down tripod. It might look good as something for like a banished base or something where it's supposed to look weird. Otherwise you can just put any building on top of this and eat up this thing. Anyway, that'd be really cool if they just like took all of these bases, like not the, like all of these platforms and stuff like that holding up these antennas, and just call them, like, put them into supports, you know what I mean? Like separate from their objects so you don't have to clip them into things. Because that would be fantastic. Someone like, you know, 343 needs to be aware of this. That would be really cool. Let's see, this one also looks like it's going to be a cool one. Especially from underneath. Okay. So basically, yeah, just hold down the button and it will eventually load. Unfortunately, from underneath is whenever it looks the coolest, and then this gigantic thing is here. So yeah, if like they just took these baseboards, like from these and put them into supports, they could put one with or without this central column thing. Be cool. It would be cool if the objects itself was sub-objects and you could delete the parts of the object you don't want. Yeah, whenever I was working on my own game and I was in Unity, and I was doing Unity, I never got to that at all. I didn't make that at all. But I was thinking that if I ever got to something like Forge, which I really wanted to do eventually, then what I would do is exactly what you just said. I was thinking, like, I would make a game object, and then each of the pieces would be off as separate objects that I can just toggle on and off. And it's really easy in Unity to just go in there and say turn off that object. So if I just made each section of the 3D model a different object and layered them on top of each other, the only downside to that is that what that would do is, and it's a fantastic idea for usability, but it's not very good for optimization, because nowadays graphics cards are so good that if you put all of these game objects as one giant 3D model right now, it would actually load really easily and not lag a system practically at all. Like there's a lot of objects here, but all these polygons are like nothing. You know what I mean? It would obviously be more than each of these individually would be on its own. But if you basically, what I'm saying is, call what is it called? Call references? I don't remember. For some reason, I can't think of the actual word. Every single time the graphics card has to call an object to be rendered, like this one right here. This object is very simple, not a lot of polygons, right? Or even like just a regular simple cube, right? Doesn't have a lot of polygons, but it actually takes up the graphics card's ability to call for that 3D model to be loaded in. Yeah, and so basically, if you have all of these objects here, for example, if I was in like Unity and have all these objects here, it has to call each and every object to load in. So, but even if they're low poly, it doesn't, they don't take a long time to render. They're not hard on the graphics card, but they still take time to render in a way because of the fact that they have to be called. If they end up being high poly, like more like they are in Infinite, then you end up having the same number of calls because we have the same number of objects, and the graphics card only has to work a little bit better. So better graphics cards can do better graphics, but all computers can only do like so many calls, you know what I mean? For render calls. I forget the word, I'm just going to call it calls, because call is part of it. There's a specific word that goes with call that makes it exactly what I'm trying to say. But so more generally, we'll just call it calls. Basically, render calls, basically, is what I'll call it for now. And basically, yeah, so if you combined all of these objects into one 3D model, it would be way more optimized. And that's what the main maps, that's why their dev maps can be so high quality, even compared to how good the Forge can be right now. The new maps show how it's also tied to SSD speeds. Exactly, because you have to pull up the it's going into the file to find the 3D model to render each and every one of these 3D models at the beginning. Takes time, so it takes time to load into the map. Once it's got it in the RAM, each one of them is loaded in as a separate file, so then it takes up more data. Whereas, like, if it's all one file, all it needs to know is where each polygon is, so it doesn't have all that extra bloat of all of the other information, like the object location and its scale and its, it's all that kind of stuff, and all the basic stuff that just says this is a 3D model and you need to render it in this way. You know what I mean? And then that's super redundant. It happens for every single model. But if you have it all as one 3D model and you have everything set up correctly, then you can massively reduce the amount of data it takes up. So essentially what I'm saying is that would actually happen if you did the thing where you could turn off and turn on sections of a model. Each model would technically be multiple objects, because each one that you can turn on and turn off would have to be a separate object. The only other way to do that in a way that would not cause that is if you have sections of collision box that you can turn on and off, and also at the same time you're turning on and off the collision box, you turn the textures into 100% transparent textures on a section. So there are ways. Maybe they could make prefabs save as one 3D object. Yeah, that would be really cool if they could compress all of them into one object. There's actually a Unity app that I bought. I think I paid for it. I don't think it was a free one, that I haven't, actually used yet because I haven't actually finished the game yet. But there's a app that I got, or like an add-on that I bought off the Unity Asset Store that actually does that. It will unify a bunch of objects into one object and make it render much faster. And it also maintains all of their textures and everything like that. It maintains their collision boxes and everything. So I was planning on, you use that during Unity development, so you can just place your own objects around like Forge and then press a button and then select them all into one folder basically, and then press a button and it turns them all into one object. It would make loading way faster. Yeah, it would. But what I was thinking about doing was trying to figure out a way to make that into my own Forge tool if I got to do a Forge-like thing. But yeah, so what I was saying is that basically, like, if you made it to where this ball, for example, could be turned off, all you'd do is you'd make it to where this column has a polygon right here so that it's not invisible on the inside, or a set of polygons, a bunch of polygons goes around. So it looks like it's a completed object, right? And then this section, the ball section, and also another flat one there to complete this disc maybe, or maybe make the disc part of the ball. But the point is, you make the textures of the ball turn 100% transparent, and then you and you also make it to where there's a separate collision box for the ball section as from the legs. And that doesn't render because you don't render collision boxes. And then what you do is you make it to where you cause the ball to go completely transparent. You take the collision box for the ball, you turn it off, and then now you only have the legs visually and physics, and for the physics. And then all of these objects could theoretically have that in some way, in some capacity. Some objects that are small enough, like honestly, this object is actually super blown up version of a tiny one, and as I had shown off before, has a major problem where there's the piece I had to create my own these pieces right here because the part that's actually there has no collision. That section could theoretically be turned off and just be the plus sign, for example, and it wouldn't have the things that are poking out, and maybe not the base. Like you could turn off the base and just have this like cool ramped plus sign thing. And yeah, but anyway, that would be all really cool. The problem is that would also require a huge amount of programming, way overhaul of all of the game objects that are already in there to have them separated out like that, to have different collision boxes and stuff. And the work would seriously like increase, like massively increase for the entirety of Forge. It would be something you would do for the next Halo game, probably, because to build that into Infinite, now that Forge is already out, would be almost impossible. It would be so expensive. but it's something you could absolutely build into it from scratch, from the base game, and build up from there. But it also would increase the amount of work that every single object requires to build it. So it's all a very major trade-off kind of situation. But yeah, I definitely agree, and I was hoping that maybe we would get something like that, and I was wanting to do that in my Unity game eventually. But that wasn't Forge. My own Forge mode was like, I was making a single player campaign. After that, I might be able to do a multiplayer. After that, if I've got a multiplayer, I might be able to do a Forge mode. You know what I mean? So like it was not probably going to happen. But yeah, unless somehow it was a really popular game or something. So I'm still hoping to eventually go back to that game and finish it, but or like actually make it. You know what I mean? But for now, yeah, it was. It's a future dream, you know. Of course, Klen was joking about, or maybe serious about. He was like, "Yeah, well, totally, yeah, we'll just make a game after this, after we make our maps." I was like, okay, yeah, cool," and well, totally, yeah, we can just do that. And probably as a joke. I don't know, maybe he's serious, but who knows? Let's see. I wish Halo had destructible environments. I agree. Destructible. That's another thing I got off the Unity Asset Store, is a tool that very efficiently, supposedly, and I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to use it because it may not be as efficient as I claim. Supposedly, it's extremely efficient, and what it does is it makes it to where you shoot. It like can simulate glass breaking with particle effects, but also with like little objects it creates, and like it destroys the original object. It can make stone crumble and stuff like that, but I don't know how efficient it actually is. I'd have to figure that out by actually, trying to make something using it, because I haven't actually gotten to use it yet. It's kind of like definitely a thing I want to use. I think my license for those is technically for only one person, though, so I'm pretty sure that if, for example, Klen and I got together and started doing it, he'd also have to buy all of the same assets, because you actually do have to have a separate license per person. If you make a game, I'm being creative director. So not only was I trying to create a game, but I have written up documents for lore and writing and like like weapons and stuff like that I've created that would be not just fun to, like really fun to use, and also, yeah, you can get inside these and everything. This is so cool. The collision boxes are so precise. I'm putting that disc in the middle because I'm going to put a little object in there, maybe a like a bunch of crates or something. Like this became a storage spot, you know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe not. It doesn't make any sense to turn that into a storage spot if you've got these giant beams. So maybe I'll put something like a water tank or something that you wouldn't take out. You'd fill it up and empty it. I want to create a Battlefield/Halo hybrid game. That would be pretty cool. I wanted, if I go into the details of what I wanted, we'd be here all day of what I was planning. So this platform is good, but I think I want actually to do I want something that's more like wire mesh. Hold on. I want a gate. Let's see. Accents. Is it city props, crate, destructible, fences? I want a fence to be my flooring. Is there one that's actually more similar all the way around? Because this looks like it's got a thicker top and a thinner bottom, which means it's not going to be exactly perfect. It could theoretically work like this. Okay, let's see. Well, this, nope, it's scaling in all directions. Whoops, let's just turn that off. Let's see. Yeah, I have, geez, like my explanation for what my game would be like would take all day, and I don't know if I want to give out all of my ideas because who knows who's watching, and I don't want to just like, you know, if I make it as an indie dev, if I can make it as an indie dev, that would be amazing. If I can't, then and if I make it to where like, if someone like, basically, if unlike the Forge maps where I'm like anyone can just steal the ideas, I feel a little bit more like protective of my ideas for my game, for my own game, because I'm a little bit like, you know, I wouldn't want someone to come in, and I wouldn't want 343 to be watching this at some point or something like that because it's a Halo thing, and then go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We're gonna do it before he can finish. What the heck? How did I select this? Oh, okay. I deselected or something at some point. You know what I mean? Like their ability to make stuff is so much faster because they're a real, you know, an official developer that like a you know, an Xbox official developer, that it would be very, very, you know, I would never be able to beat them if they started trying to make it. You know what I mean? But if I make it first, then I don't mind them copying, and I would love to see all that stuff put into Halo. So it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to say if it's even like something to worry about because everyone's going to copy everybody eventually anyway. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the fact that video game companies just copy each other all the time? And it's never original content. It seems like. Let's see, is that centered correctly? So this is not exactly what I want, because while I do want this sort of catwalk effect, it feels too thin. Like a Spartan would push right through that. So instead, what I can do is rotate this here and snap this to here, which would be cool if I, you know, if I wanted to go a little bit higher maybe, and then snap it to there. It'd be even cooler. And then I could theoretically on one side put this mesh in, one of these, the regular chain link fence, and then scale it correctly. And then we could have a really cool connected reconnecting. Yeah, okay, let's see. We're going to go to speed test and test this. Okay. Yeah, it says I've got good speed according to this, so I'm not sure what's going on. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I mean, it's like I said, it's recording right now. Stream set is poor. Stream settings, analytics. Wait, is it back? No. Serious issues that need attention. Poor. Okay, okay, guys. So this might be stream is dying. It might be one I have to end early. That's unfortunate. I was just talking about the game I was working on, and we were having some good conversation there. I was enjoying. Not that I don't enjoy the other conversations, I just mean in particular. How did I select that? And why was it? Okay, here we go. Keep selecting the wrong thing. So we're on recording right now while I wait to see if YouTube will fix itself. And if it does, it's great, but I don't think it's going to. So if we put like some gates right here. Nope, not that. It would be really cool. Let's put that right in the middle so whenever we scale it out to the sides, we can make it touch both sides at the same time. There we go. Alright, so that's really cool, but anyway, the other thing we need to do is put something underneath this grating to make it feel more sturdy, and we have support sections. I don't think YouTube is going to work right now. I think I might have to give it up. Wait, stream is healthy! Hey, it's back up! You kept trying, and now it's finally back. Okay. Stream, it looks like it says stream is healthy. Hey, the stream is finally saying healthy. Finally saying healthy again. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are still here or not, but it says excellent connection now. Oh, let me hit live on here. Okay, cool. It's showing me what's actually happening now. It looks smooth. If you guys are in the chat still, then that's awesome. If not, oh, you know what? Music stopped. Let's do that. Where's the music? Nope. Nope. Hey, that's some other person's random video. Oh, I moved it over here. There we go. Let's get some ODST going. Here, we'll go to the menagerie since we got YouTube back up. I think my audio is low. There we go. Okay. FX gameplay. Okay, what I was about to do is going to structures, supports. No, I think it actually is accents and then supports. There we go. Signs, supports, and there's one in here that I really like that I've always wanted to get to use and I haven't been able to yet. That I've been waiting for. It's something like this. But it's not that one. It's the square one. It's like an X? Oh, maybe it's not in here. Must be in like where I was before, in structures. Maybe it's in beams? No? Bridges, columns, cover, doors, floors, slopes, walls. Do you guys know where that one is? We're back up. I hope everybody's still here. Because, yeah. Very, very unlikely, but who knows. I bet they're going to rearrange these, because this is, I don't know, it feels very, I don't know, like, out of order. Like, it's like a very loose, kind of almost bad order. Let's see, 400, garbage, glass, missiles, panels, pipes, railings, rubble. I think it must be, if it's not in supports, it must be in UNSC. There's one that's like an X-shaped cross support, I thought. I could theoretically use this, but let's keep looking just in case I can find it. Conduit cover. Where is that thing? Real quick, I wonder what happens if you scale this all the way down until it's flat, so you can kind of just like make a platform out of it. And then like, whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Although that kind of looks cool, like a treasure chest shaped, like desk. Maybe it's got, maybe these lights on the sides are hologram projectors. Ooh, now it looks like a medical bed. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. I might make a medical room. Let's see. But we're back up with excellent connection, it says. It just went down for a minute. What does a dry erase board look like as a platform? Oh, it's got the dry erase board on both sides, doesn't it? Does it have different things written on it? No, it's the same. Is this the layout for a map? What map is this? Training yard. I assume... Yeah, this is live fire, I think. No, it's not. Wait a minute. I don't know what this is at a glance. Tunnel. This is clearly like, I wonder if they actually, if this is an actual layout for a map. I don't know. Range Master. M. Blinkley. Or Brinkley. And someone drew a warthog running down a grunt. Anyway, sorry. Just got a little distracted there. Okay, let's see. Let's find that cross beam. I think there's one. If there's not, then it's that other piece I was thinking of, and that you gotta scale it to just sort of fit what you're going for. But I thought they just had one that was 1x. One single cross X. Instead of like all of those individual cross beams. Maybe. Trim beam. I don't think I ever looked at these for more than a second. I probably went right past them. That's actually kind of a cool shape there. That could be really useful for mechanical structures. Like, basically... Oh man, that could be a ladder. What? How did I not see this? In my waterworks map. This is literally just like the ladders from classic Halo. What? It's got the little angled piece there. This is so much simpler. Look at that. It's just a... Okay, if you're making, if you're ever making something like, boarding action, which I was thinking of, I was hoping to make eventually, use this as the ladders on boarding action. It looks exactly like the UNSC ladders from Halo 1. Like, seriously, it's like identical. The depth is wrong. Like, these sidewalls should come out farther, but if that's a problem, you can just build new sidewalls that poke out farther the way that I did it on Waterworks. But, like, and use these sort of slopes, how it kind of comes in there and then it changes direction. Like the, here, look, I'll show you. Visually on the texture, it kind of changes direction here with, like, normals mapping. And if you just clip it into there, right there, at that point on the texture, and then right at there, or right at this point right here, or maybe right at that corner right there, then you could just make it work perfectly and just build your own. Man, oh, here it is. This is the piece I was looking for. Right after that. At least we found that piece. That was interesting. So then we flip it over. So that actually, we don't want the flat side up. We want probably the more detailed, cool-looking side toward the top. And then we center it, so that you're looking down into it. Actually, no, we do want it flat top. Yeah. Whoa, it worked nice from over here, and then suddenly, yeah. Level 50. Oh, nice. That's crazy. Are you using any XP boost? I think I need to make it thinner and taller. Let's see, let's go to this. We'll go to this. Okay. So then you line it up here. And then line it up over here. And these things are making it to where I can't see what I'm doing. Let me move this for now. Yeah, got like 74 of them, so as many, or so may as well use them. Rip stream again. Yeah, I know, seriously. Oh wait, is it down again? Jesus Christ. Okay, wait, it's back again? I don't know what YouTube is doing. I'm not losing internet connection. My internet claims it's getting like 100%. So it might be like my connection to YouTube is the problem. Or maybe it's Chrome. No, because it's OBS that feeds to YouTube. Maybe it's OBS's problem. It might be OBS that's the problem. Which would definitely make sense, but would be surprising because it doesn't seem to be telling me there's a problem. Why is it not letting me... Okay, there we go. It had some weird like hiccup where it wouldn't let me scale. That was probably a network issue. Actually, maybe it is my network. I don't know. But yeah, Jesus Christ, today is just not wanting to stream smoothly. But like I said, I'm gonna re-upload all of this. You're gonna see it on. See, we don't know what you're saying. Yeah, I figured. It's all like choppy. I'm just talking about the stream being so choppy and that I'm going to edit the recordings of this video together and re-upload them later. Those should be smooth. Boom. There we go. Okay, hopefully you guys got that. Or if you come back from, you know, if you leave and come back, you may see that at least. Okay, let's snap this back to position. And now we need to get the height of everything correctly again. We gotta correct it all again and make sure it's touching. Whoops, I just deselected all. I hit the button. I really could just hold down the button and select everything here. Okay, cool. And then we need to raise it. We need to turn off magnets and raise it. We should probably just use mouse and keyboard. Actually, that looks good. Because it's putting the platform right at the bottom of that. Actually, no. We need to go a little bit higher. I can't imagine that they would have that there. Actually, you know what? Do we want the grading to be a little different? Like the panel here maybe needs to be raised up to here and then lowered back down just a hair and scaled so that it doesn't clip completely. That's not what I wanted. Undo this. Okay, snap. Okay, hold on. Snap that there. Okay. Turn off magnets, and now we can drag it back up to the top. Clip it back down so it just doesn't go through the grading enough for us to, you know, we want to be able to see that. And then we'll go to 5 to bring this in so we can see this metal layer here. It's really cool. And then we're gonna bring and select this. Why is it not letting me? Oh, right, because I'm in move. Select, no. This, and then bring it all down again. Okay. There we go. And then bring it back out, select, come on, this, yep, and then move the whole thing up again. And we need to move our camera. So if you guys say anything in chat, I don't know if you can hear right now, but if you guys say anything in chat while the stream is going crazy, like if you just wanted to talk about something, then I'll reply to it for sure, and it'll just be up in the YouTube video that I have to upload later. So even if you can't hear what I'm saying right away, I can reply. It just won't be in here. But in the meantime, at least I'll be able to reply. I'll be able to see and reply to it. But if you don't want to talk in a one-way way like that, don't worry about it. I can't imagine that being super pleasant. So don't worry about it if you wanna keep from that. Let's see, I think I need to move this over here. That'd be super one-sided. Or I can try to reply in chat, in text, and then just say it out loud as I'm typing it so that whenever it's in the YouTube video, people can see it. So that way it won't be one-sided. You'll be able to hear about it'll be both ways. Anyway, this looks really cool. I like this. It looks like a very reinforced, you know, grading here now. And it looks like something that someone cobbled together outside as an assembly that they have to do after the pod drops. You know what I mean? That they roll out, you know, and put together really quickly. And that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're going to center that on the top of that there. And that would bring us down to there. So maybe I need a longer one. Should I actually go both ways? Should I make one of them come out the front and one of them come out the back? Like I was saying before, like if you're defending it, you can just go up the ramp. But I could theoretically do both. I could make it to where, like, if you're over here, it just makes more sense to jump up. I'm going to put crates there to make it as a path that you can actually, like, go. Whoops. And this is going to have some, like... One of the problems is that I actually need to fix now. I just realized. I really need to fix this, like, right now. Because I just realized I've been messing up this entire time. I have been intent on eventually selecting this entire base and raising it off the ground so that I can come in here and going into up here to, you know, that's not what I wanted, to biomes, 51, nice, terrain, now over halfway, very nice, and go, let's see, where is the bowl? Yeah, bowl / hill, let's flip this over. Next match is 52. Nice. We're going to do this kind, actually, and we're going to scale it up. And we're going to bring it down all the way to make it like a crater. Not that far. Now we're going to change it to look like the rocks, which I have no idea which ones those are, but we're going to try and make it match that gray rock. So, stone, maybe? Rock A. Oh, this is already rock A. Rock B. And then dirt needs to be changed to a rock of some kind. Rock, bedrock. Okay, bedrock is probably the way to go. Very jagged looking broken rocks with a gray kind of color to it. Like what you see in this map. I'm actually going to turn this one into sand. Let's see, sand coarse. Okay, I think this is on the bottom half. This is on the sides, isn't it? No, yeah, this is on the other side. Okay. We need to do... Which one is this one? Okay, this is in here. Let's do sand here. Sand coarse. Sand hard. And we will go no color because it's still set to gray. Okay, we need to find one that is the same color sand as the ground outside. Or actually, it might even be a little bit burned. Next match is 52. You are just power leveling through this thing. Let's see, we want something a little bit like the sand that is this map. That is way too wrong. Let's see. Sort of a nice... It's almost this, but I think we need to bring down the intensity to make it a little less peach and a little more... yeah, there we go. That looks right. Okay, and we can bring up the color spread to make it a little bit more intermittent. Nope, that's turning it pink. Why is the color spread, like, so hard to control? Now it's turning purple. Is it like the higher you go, the more through the color wheel it goes? Or what? How does this work? I don't even know how color spread works, clearly. Because it just seems to make things purple every single time. To me. Okay. So, okay, roughness. Wonder what that being, yeah, on would look like. So that looks kind of cool. I wish I could, like, I bet I could. Yeah, probably. I'll do some cool stuff later with this. I'm gonna make it look like it's been glassed a little bit because you just crash landed. You know what I mean? Like the drop ship. Maybe this drop pod just landed and wrecked it and wrecked shop. You know, left these little craters here, and the fire on it from the impact crater and stuff like that. It'd super compress the sand and fill it with little shards of glass everywhere, or something to that effect. That's the idea. Don't know if that's actually a thing, but yeah. Anyway, the point is that it would be here, and then I would surround this in TI terrain. So let's do that. So it would be probably bank full TI and scale the thing down substantially and basically just put it inside of that one so that it kind of melds into it, and see how well we can get that to look. How good we can get that to look. How well. Let's see. If we get it into the rocky portion, then it would give us a really nice effect. Ooh, I got an idea. If we tilt it, oop, not that much. We're on 45 degrees. If we tilt it, then it will turn to stone on the inner edge due to it being so sharp, but I think it's too tilted because in the outside. And obviously this is way too deep. All of this probably needs to be just super shallow and subtle instead of being so thick. Like this is probably even too deep. It probably just needs to be brought down a lot. And then whenever this is in there, it should look like more of the same. You know, I may end up just having to say, okay, the sand fell back down in there and just do the TI terrain, because that would work. There's some stone in there, as you can see. And then I just like take a bunch of these and put them together around it, and maybe some dunes, some half dunes. Where is it? What is this one? Ramp corner exterior. What is happening? There it is. It's just really far away. Actually, that would be pretty good for like getting them to be precise. If I put a bunch of these around it, then the edge would be flat, and I could just touch them together and they would be really precise. So if I did that, I could be like this, and then I could go back to 45 degrees. I could duplicate it. I could do this. These should have snapping points, and most of the terrain does not have snapping points, but these absolutely should. They've got their flat edges. They should have a snap point. That is a really hard seam that they generate. That's kind of awful. Guess you just kind of have to go inside of it like that. That looks a little better. And man, I didn't think about this, but like golf hole. Look at that. You could very much. You wouldn't put a golf hole in the middle of the sand, but yeah, this is how you would make a golf hole if you wanted to play. If you wanted to play golf. If you wanted to like actually place the golf ball and get a hammer and stuff like that. But yeah. So basically something like this would work. Almost 53. Nice. You're just power leveling. Just destroying the game. Ramp interior. Is this the one that I would actually have wanted? I did ramp exterior, and this is probably the... Yeah, this is the one I would have wanted, because I think... Well, anyway, I don't want either of them, because I actually much prefer the... Okay, here's the bank half. This is going to be really useful for making that inner bank look much more unique. And obviously, like I said, all of these need to be way thinner. Oh, this does not need to be 45 degrees. There we go. basically use something like this to be like, yeah, we cleared out the sand in here to get to these door frames. You know what I mean? But then on the outside, it's going to be these big, thick, rounded dunes, you know? But then also nowhere near as big as this. Definitely bring them down. But then maybe bring up verticality to increase the amount of stone that's involved. And bring down this. I wonder if I should put... Yeah, it might be that I put a little one in the middle that's like got the... Oh no. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, we'll see. So they become stone whenever they're more vertical. Okay, it's not going to rotate again. There we go. And I definitely want them to become kind of stone-like in some areas. But they're not going to become perfect stone, no matter what I do. Because they're very finicky. Finical. Fickle is the word. Or finicky, not finical. Just won't come out of my mouth. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So not this, but something to this effect. Not exactly like this. The point is that I need to find... The idea here that I was doing right now is attempting to find the right height for these so that whenever I go to move it up, I already have an idea of what looks natural. And I don't think that these look natural yet. And my kids are banging on that door for some reason. Guys, what's up? Oh, it's my son. He likes to bang on everything anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna go have to get them. Go take care of him. I don't know what he wants. They've already eaten today, so... Well, maybe he wants more, but... Let's see. Okay, so this will give us a bit of like a sort of like crater point underneath these feet, something to this effect. This gets me a decent height. I feel like driving up underneath the base, I want it to be possible, but I want it to actually be a place you can use as like trenches to defend yourself. Let's go ahead and drive over there and see what this is like. Forgot to remove this hill, so we're gonna hit it first. So you could, this hill would not protect you from a gun turret on a Warthog. I still need to replace those and find something new for the engine, because those are just keep on switching back to dynamic objects on their own. So the Warthog would definitely plow right over these hills, but a Ghost would have trouble shooting past them. The tank would be able to shoot right over them too. So it's like UNSC vehicles would be really good against this hill. And over this hill, but I think the let's see what vehicles we have available that I have already spawned in, so I don't have to go finding a new one. We'll go through here to get into this middle platform. I know there's a chopper here. Chopper will be cool hitting those slopes, but in the meantime, let's see if you can shoot past this. This is, of course, not the correct chopper, but yeah. Yeah, you can pretty much get over these with currently. With some crates down here, it won't be as big of a deal, but yeah. But I like the idea of being able to launch yourself out from underneath there if you want to attack somebody from underneath. So that's another cool aspect of this. But yeah, basically I want to raise them up, but not. They don't have to raise them up too much. I just need to raise them up enough that they look like they're embedded into the ground. You know, they landed somewhere on sort of a hill, like they targeted a sort of hill, and then that hill got depressed by these feet. You see what I mean? And turned into craters. So that okay, I'm in super slow mode. I was like moving like Master Chief speed. Okay, which means I'll have to raise that up. Which is one of the problems and one of the reasons I was like, oh, I really have been messing up because I completely rebuilt that thing and have not reset this, which means this bridge will be the wrong height, which means I'll have to change that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a bunch of adjustments now. It also means this thing's height is gonna be different. I was gonna put it on a bit of a hill, so that they can so that we can get that looking good. But and also so that this is going down onto some actual hill. You know what I mean? But and then I was thinking about putting a crate in front so you can hop the crate and go up there, or make the hill kind of like come up with like a little bit of a mound of sand on one point or something like that. But yes, let's do some stuff. So we can just grab. I'm just gonna make fewer objects to move by deleting these right now anyway. Because they're broken, they switch to dynamic objects. They're not going to work for this. They switch themselves over. That thing is was part of the way the engine looked before, so I can probably just do something like grab one of these, you know, and scale it up and put it in there. But I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it yet. Where's there it is. It could be something like this, for example. Just a loose little throw together. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. A little too big. Let's see. One match away from 54. Jeez. That's crazy. There we go. That doesn't look quite good, but you know, it's yeah, I'll figure out something that's even better. I'll even delete that because I don't want to have to grab it right now. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so because the buildings are going to come straight up out of the ground, the crane idea was cool, but we're not going to go with it. And what we need to do is I'm going to delete these, and I'm going to see how many objects I have. These are also really cool, but they're not part of it, so they're going to go over here with the other parts that I was considering, so that I can remember, hey, that thing exists, let me go find it in the menus and select one and put one down. Okay, so from above, we can go down with the joystick, and then you go to resume with your mouse, and then you got a perfect, you switched perfectly. Okay, we now are at 150, and it is too many objects. So, what we do is we select all these, and then we go to controller, we prefab them, right? And then we deselect all, go back to mouse and keyboard, reselect all these, right? Deselect the prefab. What did I... Okay, yeah. And prefab the rest. Then we do it one last time to make sure we get all of the objects. Okay. And then we deselect the prefab. Now we have no prefab selected. And we've prefabbed the entire base. And we don't have to do it as complicated as it was with the waterworks situation. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was awful. Okay, and we also, let me see, what was that last piece? This one? No, not that one. There's this one last piece over here. Oh, whoa, I didn't get that one. Okay, it didn't work quite as well as I'd hoped. So let's go ahead and do... Where was that last piece? There's one more over here that became its own prefab. Did I not prefab it? Did I accidentally hold down the button? It was not quite held down for long enough? Okay, we're going to do that. Hold down shift, go over here, deselect that one. It's not want to deselect it. I only have 6 objects selected. Come on now. Take that one out. This isn't working quite as well as I'd hoped, because this piece is refusing to select. And that one, and that one. It's trying to select these prefabs too fast, and then the prefabs are eating up all of my selection. Let's see. I could theoretically move these floor pieces because they're not like these wall pieces. I mean, if I move those up with it, then I'll get the right height to be able to attach these two. But these are dynamic, so I'll just mess them up. Let's see, I played your waterworks the other day. It's dope. Thanks. I appreciate it. Did you play the the classic or the modern or which one? Like I always say, I recommend the modern one. I played both, and I was like, you know, this what do you call it? This Wraith is way more powerful in this mode, in this version of the game than in Halo 2. So it definitely needs to be the modern one in my opinion. But that's just my take. As the creator, I'm very biased toward the modernized one than the original, just because of that one take. Okay, so I think that what we're gonna do, we're gonna select this one because this one has these objects. What is this big red thing? Why do I have this selected in here? I don't know how it selected this. I don't need that, and I need to put the rest back into a prefab. But what I do need is an anchor point. So let's see. So what I need is, I need to go to Halo Design Set, I need to go to Columns, I need to grab a column. And I need to say this column is going to be anchored right, yeah, I guess we'll say right, put it somewhere outside the base so that's easy to, something it can snap to, but also is outside the base so that it'll be really easy to use later. Okay, there. And then what we're going to do is, and that's also not the prefab we're about to grab, so it's not snapped to the prefab we're about to grab, so that's good. And what we're going to do is duplicate it and put it back in, put another one there. And then while we have the second one selected, we're going to grab this prefab. Oh, it is the same prefab. Okay, but we don't have to use that one. If we go with this one, right, and we deselect all, and then we unprefab it. Oh, it's only 94. Wait, what? So we can combine it with this prefab. Yeah, that should be less than 100. Yeah, or 150. Yeah, okay, it's 105. Cool. That works out. And then we're going to... Why are these not inside of each other correctly? Let's snap that one there. And then select that one. And together, prefab them. So that they're in the same spot. So whenever I move this one up, it's going to move the other one up. And that will work. Just a moment.
I found it.
Oh, you found the Triceratops. Cool, for your board game. Cool. So now, let's see. Okay, you said, I also added your gamer tag as capjrs, just in case you ever need to gather people to test stuff. And I played the classic one. I'll have to check out the modern one. I appreciate the scripting you did, though, because I'm not good at scripting at all. Well, yeah, like I said, I suggest the modern one. Yeah. But yes, that's I definitely. You said you added me, like you friended me basically, because that's dope. I think I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go above the ground here. Maybe how high do you think I should do it? If I go high enough, I can put like a groove of sand in the sand coming out of the doors, which would be really cool looking. And make it look like it's like a you know what I mean, like a hill, but I can build it up onto a hill so it's slightly higher than the rest of the map. And then also make that hill have the craters in it. And also underneath here, make the craters come around and sort of build paths out of the doorways like they cleared the sand. You know what I mean? And that would be pretty cool. So we're just going to hold it for a second. I think this is a good height here. I could be wrong, but this is a good height for now. We'll just hold it here for a good long while because I was having network issues earlier, and then let go. Okay. And then now we've got a column that's slightly higher than the other one, so we know exactly where to snap it to. So we're going to duplicate this one again and put it inside of there. And then we're going to combine it. I think this one only has 149, so we can add one more object. And then we can raise it up. And it should... Oh, right. No, we got to hold it for a second because I need to do something really quick. Hold it, and then let go. Okay. We need to unprefab it, deselect this one, reselect it, so now it is our anchor point for our welds. And then we go to, our snapping point. Okay, so then we hold it here for a long time so that the server knows what's going on. And then we let go. There we go. And now we have our raised base, which I will then prefab. And then we got to go check it out to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I missed anything, I can add it to a new prefab and move and attach it to that. Like grab that old column that's still in the old position and combine and make a new copy of it again, and then move everything up with that one. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, I added you on Xbox. I don't know if you ever got a notification for it. I probably did, but I miss my notifications on here all the time. Like here's one. Captain JRS added you as their friend. Cool. How do I... Oh, follow is adding them back, right? That's how you do that? Oh, I never added back JK Law 80. Which, like, he's in Discord talking just the other day. See, I miss these a lot. If I ever missed you at trying to add me, let me know in chat or in the Discord. I'll add you right back. I'm not stingy with that. I'm forgetful or I miss it or whatever. The other people that followed me in there, I don't know if they're people who are trying to follow me because of that or follow me because they were in a match with me and they were just like, yeah, we jived or what. So I'm not going to quite accept all of those and follow all of those back yet. Yeah. This, by the way, is folded down so I can put a catwalk going over to that building. So that's probably what I'll do. Maybe a man cannon, maybe just a path, you know, a walking path. But, yeah. Let's see. That is I think that means there's a bug here going on. Let me hold down the back button. Yeah, that thing is trying to spawn inside the floor. I think it didn't grab the warthog. That sounded like I was, like peeling out, you know, on purpose, but that was entirely an accident. I have to walk up here because it's too high now. Let's see. You're at 55 now. Nice. This is officially in the ground. Can't move. Okay, so we gotta fix that. Let's remove that from this prefab, put the rest back, raise it up, put it to the ground, and that should be good. That should fix it. And then we will add it back to the prefab in case I end up moving the whole thing up or down again in the future. Yeah, this is looking really cool though. Our little TARDIS column is what I think of it as. Because it's just, you know, it's a power column. It looks like it's in the middle of a round room with doorways going in and out. It feels like the TARDIS's, you know, engine column in the middle. Or soul? I don't know. There's a lot of lore added with, you know, what's his name's? With Steve Moffat's versions where there's like a soul involved and it can become a person and everything. It's great. I think I added a panel in here to hide the piece because I wanted you to be able to still jump through here. I could just add like pipes going through here and that would be cool looking, but I liked the idea that you could just like hop through here. That's a lot easier to hop through most of the time. Yeah, there you go. Like, just jump on through. But it also looks like this. Oh wait, this is one I added on too, but I don't think I added to the next one. Yeah, this is what it looks like normally. There's like all this horrible clipping and like this vent pipe from this vent panel coming off of this piece. Whoa, what happened here? I think something moved wrong. Are all of these like that? No, they're not. Something definitely got moved incorrectly. And I don't know what happened. And it looks like it's just on this one side. Why is it just on this one side? This engine isn't weird, so what happened? Wait, is it over here too? Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's this piece and this piece, because they're opposite catty corners, so I just need to adjust them. Okay, I think I had copied, what I did was I placed this one, and from inside here I copied it over and placed it there. And I didn't go outside and look that it is horribly messing up. It's curving correctly with this wall, but not with this one, because that is okay if it's clipping inside of that, but it's not okay over here. So I just need to adjust that. Okay, I can do that later. First, I need to do my crater. To move it forward and move it up. So it looks like it has slammed into the ground here and embedded itself, you know, into there. We also need an overall hill for the entire thing. I'm thinking that I really, really like this thing now that they fixed the texture. I keep saying that and keep reusing it. And I think that as a baseboard, this thing is fantastic. And then once you've got your base there, you can build up for it with other terrain clipping into it. So I'm still going to use it again. I think that I'm going to put the slope going on this side. Actually, I'll put the slope toward the back, because that seems like a really good idea. And then I'm going to make it much shorter, because I kind of want to make it so short and so wide that it's even got the that slope portion on the outside coming up out of the ground. So you've got this subtle shift. But we will see if that works out. That is way too short, I think. That doesn't look too bad, but kind of awful at the same time. So we'll figure that out. And also, you know what? It doesn't allow me to make like a bowl in the middle inside here, so I don't know if I like that. I think instead I'm gonna go with biome. Let's see. Not stumps, terrain. I always go one too short. Get me my bowl. That way I can make a lower area in the middle really easily. And then we're going to build this out, and then we're going to put like a rim around the outside. I think that this would be good to make the bowl kind of slope up into that from it down here. And then of course it's not going to be... Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And having them each embedded slightly different in the sand will actually come in. Well, actually, I think that'll you know, pay off in the end, because it'll look a little bit more realistic that they didn't all embed perfectly, because maybe the bedrock underneath some areas is thicker than in other areas, and so it ends up sort of like digging in differently. This one now needs to be a heck of a lot taller and lower and even a little bit different angle. We're just going to turn off snapping and then bring it out if it will select it. And then let's see, we'll bring this in too, to sort of give the idea that the sand is sort of sliding around the corner a little bit, because that would be more natural, I would think. And then to see it kind of like whenever it hit, some of the sand was higher up, and then the reverberations that continued afterward. Stephen Muppet. Yes, Stephen Muppet. The reverberations afterward can, you know, kind of like a little bit of aftershock, cause some sand to then fall back down into the pit, which would make sense. Stephen Muppet is, yeah, pretty accurate. I don't know if you guys ever watched Coupling, but that was also a great show. My wife and I watched it when we very first met, and it was like became our show for a little bit, because we were coupling at the same time we were watching Coupling. It was, you know, yeah. There we go. You know, the show with lesbian Spank Inferno, which was hilarious. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Now this angle is a little bit nicer. I kind of like that. Although maybe I made it a little bit too big. It's kind of stretching out into the middle a little bit. Although maybe not. Maybe that's not bad. I'll see which path I want the grooves to take as we go, and sort of organically feel it out, I think. We definitely want this to be a little bit shorter though, because the way it was or a little bit taller, but like in the ground a little bit, you know? Because it seems, well, nah, I think we're going to blend it into something that's going to be on this side, which is going to make it look less like that. Oh. Okay, so that was just a reminder of something. Okay, so one thing is we do need to adjust, let's see. Whenever you hit 69, you definitely need to announce that one, Aaron. Especially, you know, in the Discord or something. Okay, let's see. Here we go. That's going to give us... Okay, there we go. It's clipping into it in all sides, so it gives the idea that it's now embedded inside of there. Gives us a nice bowl. These now are officially way too high to shoot over from down here, but there's going to be a bit more of a slope here. Is this a Doctor Who inspired map? And if so, what's your plan for a game mode wise? It is not Doctor Who inspired. I just happened, I needed this so that there would be a central area I liked the idea of it being in the middle of the room, because then all entrances have the same distance to get to it. Once you get inside the base, there's still a couple more seconds for the enemy to stop you. But the idea is this, and the reason you'll understand why in a second. That's essentially a capture the flag capture plate. That giant column is. But what it is these are going to spawn fusion coils. There's 4 of them, and they kind of go across the map in a sort of straight line here. And these towers are going to be King of the Hill zones. So the fusion coils are going to be regular fusion coils, not power seeds. So you're going to be able to use them as weapons if you want to. See, Dr. Hall is better than modern Doctor Who. Modern, yeah, I really like Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who a lot. I haven't gotten to go back and rewatch the original series. I have gotten to, I just haven't taken the time to go do that. We started it, and we never got through the first season. Because brand new Doctor Who came out in the middle of that, and we were like, all right. Anyway, let me keep explaining for Germ Guy. So these create fusion coils. The fusion coils are like neutral flags. You grab them, you bring them back to your base, and you deposit them in that spot. This is all at the beginning of the game. Kills at the beginning of the game either will not get you any points or will get you significantly reduced points. So you bring them back to your base, and then in your base, you're charging up power. You've got this power level going up. And as the power level goes up, your team's power level goes up. These giant spires are going to be also power generators that are more like, it's a capture the hill zone, or like a territory's hill point. You capture this point by defending it until you've got it controlled, and then your enemy can steal it and stuff like that. But the point is, you capture these 4, and they generate power consistently over time. So you want to get some of these at the beginning, and then as you get closer and closer to the end of that first round, sort of, so to speak, first phase, you're going to want to start focusing on the fusion coils, because the fusion coils are going to get you more incremental instant boosts. And then, so like really at the very beginning, the towers will be more valuable, but their value will slowly deplete over time as you get closer and closer to the end of that round. Then at the end of the round, the amount of energy you've built up over time from these Forerunner structures will determine if this building rises out of the ground, and that building, and that building. And these buildings are going to come with weapons, equipment and vehicles, spawn points, as well as respawn points for your team. So eventually, basically then that next phase of the battle is Slayer, and you've got your base versus the enemy base. You've got your equipment, they've got their equipment. It'll be Slayer where, how normally Slayer in Infinite is like, we don't care if you switch sides, rotation is fine. We may make it to where it's like that, but we may keep it to where it's more objective based sort of respawning, where the enemy and you are both sort of like not locked to your side of the map, but heavily encouraged to respawn at your side of the map only. And so once we've got that going, the whole you'll be more likely to have to rely on your own equipment and resources than your opponent's, than stealing your opponent's side. So that beginning part where you're actually equipping yourself for later on and leveling up your team is extremely valuable. So you're going to want to do that, and that's the idea. And it's it's sort of like me and Klen are working on that, as a team right now. He's working on the scripting right now. And he hasn't got any one particular thing done enough to like actually come over and put into the map, which is why you don't see it yet. But yeah, I would love to make use of these, even if it's just decorative, like even if we just put it onto the areas that are generally flat, just to break them up, with some dunes. We could do that. Even like leading them into the slopes would be cool, actually. It's really much more interesting terrain. It gives like a feed into the slope really naturally and bumpy. Yeah, that's going to be really useful. I think that's going to be really cool. Yeah, look at that. Anyway, we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do with that later. And so basically, and the lore behind this map, the map kind of has lore as well. We got to raise up these towers a little bit too, to match the correct height. So there's going to be a bit of lore involving this map as well, and that is that they're field testing these new fobs, because clearly the Banish just destroyed the fobs too easily. So this is a new fob that they deploy, and then that fob is like Halo Wars. You know, they from there they build out other structures. They build these, like, you know, underground platforms, like this thing auto manufactures or something like that, underground platforms, and can like raise up these other buildings. But it takes a lot of energy and power to do it, because maybe they're using nanomachines, and nanomachines in real life to manufacture things would take a huge amount of energy. So the idea is we're relying on Forerunner worlds. We can deploy this kind of fob to rapidly manufacture buildings with some kind of nanomachine or other mechanical system that requires so much power. We have to tap into the Forerunner's, you know, power grid, and actually rely on that to build our buildings. So that's sort of the lore of, like, yeah, UNSC is field testing a new fob so they can fight the Banished a little bit easier. And who knows, maybe if this gets put into a playlist, 343 will say, hey, we like that, we're gonna put that into the lore. That would be really cool, but I doubt it. We're just gonna try and make what's a cool map instead. We're gonna focus on making a cool map and worry about, you know, potential coolness if it comes up. But if the game mode is also extremely fun, like we're hoping it will be, like we're trying to make it, which is all about how we can script it. I think that we can make it fun no matter how, you know, the concept is solid. So it's just about figuring out a way to make the concept work really in a really fun way. You know what I mean? So, like, if we can get it to be like super cool, then that would be great. But yeah, we'll find out. This would be a really cool hill to sort of like lead into the base on this side. I just realized, because it's got this sort of like long side, short side, which could sort of like give you the idea that this area is a higher hill. And yeah, we can stretch it out a little bit, make it come in like this, tilt it a bit so that it's a little, you know, a little more evenly distributed on its hill. And yeah. Oh, and the UNSC picked this specific spot to build all this because they realized that these, in this position, make for a very good way of field testing. It's an evenly distributed, you know, area, and they just, you know, they're like, all right, cool, this is a perfect spot. It's a boxed canyon with a appropriate number of energy to represent what we could probably find on any, you know, any Forerunner structure, any Forerunner planet or whatever. Let's go ahead and field test it here. And that's why they, lore-wise, went with this area. Let's make that, well, now it's not connected to that very well. I think we gotta flatten this a bit. I think I made it too tall. If we flatten it, then we can make it to where it doesn't eat this thing. I don't want to devour that completely, but I want it to be enough to raise the territory of the map and put some more interesting shape to this stone texture right here as well. So that will kind of feed into there really well. Let's see if it's messing up this. Oh, never mind. That's awful. Okay, we'll worry about that building later. Or maybe it's just the tilt was too much. Like, this isn't too bad. I almost get a Warzone from Halo 5 vibe with the game mode you're making for this. Yeah, it's kind of is a little bit like Warzone. Does Warzone have phases, though, where you build a base? Because that's the main focus of what we were trying to do. We really liked the idea of being able to, like, make objective mode stuff that really matters. You know what I mean? Not that it doesn't matter. It's literally how you win in other objective modes. But if it really, like, really matters to go out there and gather those flags and stuff like that, was part of it. Was part of the desire, the plan. Actually, I need to bring this a little bit up so that that eats into the ground, but not too much so it looks like it's resting on rock or something. There we go. Like something that the tires will be just fine with that, but it looks like it's actually being, like, it's sunk into the sand and is resting on something more solid underground, underneath there. So that looks like a good spot. This looks bad. So maybe a little bit more like that, and then Well, is that not... No, it still works over here. Okay, we just need to raise it up a little bit and then bring it back down to get it back to that spot. Okay, here we go. I think it needs to come up a little bit more. Okay. Just to smooth all this out. And this bumpy terrain can actually be scaled up to envelop all of that as well, which would be pretty darn cool. Okay. There we go. All right. It is, but it is a lot. It's like, it's how I think. I didn't play Halo 5, so I don't know how Warzone plays. That's why I'm asking you, by the way. I skipped Halo 5. I skipped the entire Xbox One because Halo 5 was not going to have split-screen campaign. And because of the trailers, they just bothered me. Why is this still in the ground? I replaced it. Is it because it's part of the prefab? Can this vehicle not be part of the prefab with it? Place on the ground. Yeah, that looks like that fixed it. That's weird. Let's see. No, but Warzone has the different phases to where the final one is your team or the opposing team captures all bases and your starting base opens up for the core to be destroyed. I was actually wanting to do something like that. So maybe this is just basically Warzone. I don't know. Like I said, I skipped Halo 5. If you use the needler, you're most definitely on a register. I think the needler is just fine. What are you talking about? I like the needler. No, the needler is definitely like it's great how terrible, how awful it is to be hit by the pink mist, to be killed by the pink mist. You know what I mean? I love it. My wife, it's her favorite gun. Her of course favorite weapon is the Warhammer. It's the gravity hammer. But her favorite, gun is the needler. So yeah, I didn't even know any of that about Warzone because I skipped Halo 5 because it was not going to have co-op, and also because I was just like, or it's not going to have split screen co-op, and also because I was like, yeah, I don't even feel like I want to buy the entire Xbox One if I'm not going to have a Halo game to play on it. So yeah, that's that. So I completely skipped the Xbox One entirely. So yeah, you can either kill bosses and capture bases to get 1,000 points, or capture all bases, destroy the enemy's core, and get a win from that. Can you build bases though, or is it just areas you capture? Because this would be different if the building bases is unique, which I suspect it is, because I don't remember bases. I don't remember ever hearing anything about building structures in Warzone. So there is that uniqueness. I'm not saying that I'm not saying it needs to be unique, like super unique. But I'm just saying that I think that that is technically a sort of unique take on that. So, but I'm not sure. Let's see, I think this is... Why is it not deselecting all? Okay, now it's working. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so this is probably no good like this, and I need to bring it back to being skinnier. I definitely want this to be more of a subtle. Not building bases, but you do have AI on the bases that become your allies if you capture them. That is really cool. We might be able to incorporate something like that whenever they add in AI, make it a little bit like Warzone. But right now, this is a sort of... We were actually, I think both me and Klen were thinking of this being almost like an RTS thing going on, because you're gathering resources like an RTS, and then it works like 58, nice, which could be something you do with this when they add AI. Yeah, I could definitely do something like that. If they added ODST drop pods and it allowed you to spawn as a location for spawning AI, not only would that be amazing, but I would 100% use that in this, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on with this weird texture thing going on there. I think that's supposed to be rock, but that would be really cool if that's whenever your AI comes in, it's just like boom, 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 and yeah, we could make some sand crater looking places. and be like, yeah, no, they've run this drill a dozen times, so the location that the ODSTs drop is sort of like etched into the territory at this point, and so you'll even see that at the beginning of the map. Yeah, they're learning, they're training to use better fobs and to better utilize their Spartans against the banished and blah blah blah, something like that. Let's see. Honestly, Forge at this power level, in my opinion, everyone's like, it needs a third game mode. Honestly, I think Forge at this power level is the third game mode. Like the stuff that, why does it not undo? If I hold down undo? Nope. It's definitely just not undoing anything involving these terrain pieces for some reason. Like people are saying that Halo Infinite needs a good third game mode. And with Forge as powerful as it is, it kind of is a third game mode. Not only is it a lot more fun to use because you're, a lot less limited, but also it's it's a little bit you're able to do a lot of stuff with it that creates game modes like Warzone, like you're saying. Apparently this is going to be a lot like Warzone. Well, didn't even know that. Just building along similar lines. We're going to see how different it comes out though with Klen and me at the helm designing it. But yeah. Once these new ODST coatings come in, I'm buying those ASAP. Yeah? What are the new ODST coatings? What do they look like? Obviously like ODSTs, but see, even if I reuse this exactly, it's not going to look the same as the other one, simply because the stones over here, the rock areas over here, are going to be different. But also I can like rotate them to sort of like be a different shape. And honestly, I may not even need this one at all, and just need to slope this one a little differently. Sort of build it into here. Be more dune than rock. If I can get it out of that texture point, feel it out a little better. Or maybe do go into the rock. Yeah. Let's just stretch it out and eat up that rock area. And sort of use that to transition into these other pieces. That's not bad at all. Of course, it's probably doing something over here that I don't even know about. Yeah. Definitely is. So we're gonna have to adjust this. Okay, let's see. Let's see, Halo H2A, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Marine. Wait, it's a Halo 2 anniversary, Halo 3, and Halo Reach Marine coding? Like style coding? Because that's really cool. Is that what you're saying? Because I definitely have not heard of that coding, and that sounds really cool. That's in Season 3? Because that's very aesthetically, in my ballpark. I've been using this like gold and green and dark green one because it's similar-ish to my to what I did in the past, but it's not like perfect. It's all three of them. Oh, we have all three of those as options coming. See, would you be interested in checking out this weird lighting bug I'm having on this map I'm making? It's hard to explain, but it's certain parts of the map, after I generate the lighting, it's like a spotlight is following you around. If not, you're good, dude. I could definitely look into it. That sounds like it's a reflection volume thing. Like a spotlight is following you around. Like everywhere you walk, it's like lighting up. Make a short clip of it, or like a if you can, even like a GIF or GIF or however you want to pronounce it, and put it in the Discord, because if I see it and I have an idea of how to fix it. Do you have volumetric fog on? Oh, that might be related. Yeah, I have no reflection volumes though. Oh, that could be it. Yeah, it could be a reflection problem, because if it's using the global reflection, there's a global reflection that's invisible that's at 0, 0, 1000, so it's like up there. It's a 1000Z location. And basically if you, or it's somewhere, it's right in the middle of my central structure, like inside of it in the waterworks one. I do have fog on. So if you have an objects around that thing, for example, like if you decide to build your whole level off the ground, then you might be intercepting your own global reflection volume, which is free and you can't move it. It's free for your resources, but you can't move it, and it's also works differently. It's very valuable because it. I didn't know this until recently. Whenever Ocon was showing me, it creates a reflection volume that gets overridden by other reflection volumes. So whenever you put another reflection volume in, you can sort of like let it blend a lot easier with that one. Whereas all the other ones sort of blend themselves together into one if you have them like overlap each other. So yeah, I'm making a castle and it is off the ground. Okay. Turn volumetric fog off. Yeah, volumetric fog should be reduced really low or turned off completely. And once it is off or turned down really low, also look into your location. Just put a sphere. This is how Ocam always does it, and I agree with him. This is the fastest, easiest way to do it. Like if you go like this and you go to primitives and you go spheres and you go like a primitive one, and then what you do is you go in here and you set the value to force on so it's super shiny, and you turn its thing to, I don't know, you can pick something. I'm just gonna pick I think it's paint that he picks, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, I'll just find the paint one. So apparently I was dumb. This is in alphabetical order. It's just that it's got two different sections of alphabetical order. I don't remember which one he uses, some kind of metal or something. The point is, oh, you know what it is? He sets it to pitch black, I think. Nope, don't know. Anyway, the point is you come in here to the location. You go up to the location section, and you say position, and you go X is at 0, and you might need to come back out and go back in like I have to. Y is at 0, come back out, go back in. Z is at 1000. And that is where your global reflection volume is located. But let's see, what are you saying in there? Volumetric fog should be background only, never in map. It is used in the background though, so now I have no clue. This is why it would be easier to show someone Lamau. I have no forge friends. Then turn it off entirely. Use atmospheric instead. True. So this right here is where mine is located. And if I leave this here, it's going to probably envelop it to the point where it doesn't reflect anything. If I build reflection volumes right now, it'll like make everything pitch black because this is enveloping it or something. That can happen. I'm not sure if that actually happens right now. I think it does. But I'm going to make it really big so I can see it from a distance really easily. And that's where it's going to be. So if I build a structure and envelop that, it's going to block lighting and it's going to do all sorts of weird stuff with the rest of the map. And that might be what's happening to you if you built your castle and it happens to be enveloping it. If you do, there are ways around that, or just placing your own will override it, so it won't matter. Yeah, I definitely picked the wrong texture. But yeah, so go ahead and look in your map for that kind of stuff, see if it's actually affecting you in that way. And also what Aaron is talking about the fog is extremely important as well. Since Aaron is talking about the fog, I'm ignoring the fog so that Aaron can finish what he's saying, and you can go off that. Oh, I'm on object instead of world, because Aaron's advice is also very valuable right now for what he's saying. But the point is, yeah, there you go. That will definitely help. And if you can't figure it out from that, or if you still feel like letting us see, then like I said, make a short video. Like go into the map, show me what you're talking about, do the Windows key or whatever, or if you're on Xbox, save it there, and then like put it into the Discord, and we'll see your and we'll see what you're talking about directly, and then we can provide you with any additional advice once we can really see it, you know. And that should work out. And then if you want to, if I still need to, if I look at it and I go, I have no idea what's going on, let me see that map. Send me the map, you know what I mean? Then I'll be able to get into it. And this way it will be like, I think that it'll be just as much help, but maybe not take as much time, honestly. And if I see it and I don't know what's going on, OCOM might see it and be like, hey, yeah, or Computron might see it, or someone else, and might be like, hey, I know exactly what's happening in your map, here's the advice. You know, so that I think is the best. I don't use Discord, but I do have a YouTube channel I could upload a short to if it's still happening. That sounds like it would work. And if I look at it and I go, I have no idea how to solve this, I can post it to my Discord channel for you. And then and we'll see if someone else can come up with something, you know. I think that what I'm going to do with this one is actually make this section look like it's wrapping around both of these and have a very light hill in the middle that's sort of dividing them. So it's going to be sort of like it's going to wrap around both, like this. And it'll kind of feel like a really thick hill coming out on this side, which needs to blend a little more, because the hills back here need to blend into that cliff eventually. So that looks pretty good. Does it block the door? Nope, the door frame is completely exposed, or most of the door frame is exposed, and most of it there is exposed, and I still get that little extra box I added at the bottom is still there, because it's a double frame. That's one piece, and then this down here is another piece completely. I actually might need to adjust it, because I had it under the ground, so I couldn't see how good it looked, and it kind of doesn't look perfect. So I might adjust that one a little bit. Maybe make it wider so it's the same width as the other frame, and then also adjust it in some other way, but we'll see. The point is that we're getting some slopes here that are looking good. And then, like I was saying, I want to get this one here. Nope, not that one. Wait, yes, that one. And bring it up and turn it into... Is it like a... You know, it'd be kind of interesting. I don't think they have it. But as far as terrain is concerned, I don't think they have this, so I'll see. But if you go to terrain, what if they had like a pinch point? You know, the top of a heart, where it kind of comes in? That, except like the negative space of that. Not the heart, but the area around the heart. So like, essentially, one piece that was kind of like... Oh, this isn't going to work because they don't have a mirror of this. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they have a lot of objects that are one side of it. And I am thinking that they are secretly and not mentioning that they are working on a tool for mirroring objects. Or in the future, after they've got all these objects working and they know it's working and the beta was out, they're planning on copying them over and like basically almost doubling the number, or maybe increasing the number of objects by like a third, because some of the objects are already mirrored in the same on both sides, like this, right? You can just turn this around and it's exactly the same. But then like this piece right here, that one there, is actually different on both sides. He's got a thick side and a thin, and like this thin, like striped side. And the point is that you've got a lot of objects that are like should be able to be mirrored. This piece can't be mirrored, even though I used it like it can. Like you've got this there's like a slope on it. If you come over here, it's on the exact same side. Realistically, I would wish that I could mirror it so that they were, you know, proper distances from the road, as you can see, but most people are not going to notice that, and I'm going to completely ignore it there. They're detailed enough that the details are going to draw your attention away from the fact that they're positioned slightly wrong. And if they add a mirror tool at some point, I will mirror it, or if they add a mirrored object at some point, I'll put it in there. Boogeyman in bots. So, oh, are you playing the bot playlist to level up? Is that what you're saying? Anyway, the point is that, like, yeah, if I had another one, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to duplicate it. And what I meant by the heart shape thing is that if they had a single terrain that kind of looks like this, would be interesting, because you could use it like a double slope, but that meet in the middle in a really, you know, satisfactory way, because making one is a lot more difficult than it would be to, you know, have one already made in the options. Like, this is really limiting, and I've got to, like, get the angle just right and stuff like that. Maybe if I use two of this one, it would be easier. But the point is that, yeah, it'd be a lot easier if I had, you know, if I had the ability to mirror or something like that, maybe. But the point is that if they had an object like that, I could put it right here, and it would come out really nice. with a double crater kind of effect. And it'd be a really cool, like, natural terrain shape. And I think the natural terrain is probably, if I had to guess, one of the easiest things for them to 3D model, because they're literally just these weird blobby kind of shapes. I could make them in Blender in like a day for them. I could make all of them really quickly for them in like a day, and I'm not even good at it. So, I mean, like applying textures and everything included, like that would have to be, it's a lot more harder than just making the 3D model, which is easy, which would take like 5 minutes to make one of these. But to make like a, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. Would be interesting. If they could add a lot more terrain shapes. Okay, this is probably how I'm going to do this kind of scale. Because it's got to protrude enough and then also be a good scale. Oh, no, that's kind of coming out over here. Well, I was going to raise this up, so maybe this will end up being a good shape for later. We really do need this terrain. It's actually kind of funny. This is the opposite of how I did Waterworks' construction. Was, if you recall, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put the terrain off till the end, because the terrain needs to be perfectly built around the structures, because the structures have to be exactly right. So I did that, and then now at this one, it's like the exact opposite. I'm having to like, I really need to build a terrain around the structures so that they don't look wrong, you know? Let's see, does that look any good? That doesn't look bad, but I think I need some scatter terrain in here to really clean this up. I need this one to be more over here. And probably meet this one somewhere on its side a little bit to make that not be too bulgy like that right there. It's not good. Let's see. Yeah, no point playing normal multiplayer. I mean, it's more fun. Bots are actually pretty fun, though. They really are. So, I don't know if it is more fun, but it's definitely, you know. I think there's a point. But if the purpose is to grind fast, then yeah, maybe there's no point. I actually kind of like this too, because now this is actually a way up into the base. Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. The hill has now become a purpose to gain access. You could come up this ramp and make your way up here and attack the base that way. There's another way up that's not intentional, but it's sort of like it's a path a Spartan would take. Maybe not a Marine. But yeah, 60. No, not more fun, more frustrating. I mean, yeah, with the netcode, yeah, I can see that. Actually, I'm just saying. Actually, this is already clipping into this in kind of just the right way, just by chance, and I didn't realize I had done that. That I basically already figured that part out and didn't just by accident. So that's good. Okay. Well, we are going to want, I think I want another one of these. Where is it? There it is. I want another one of these, and I want to put it over here. Ooh, dynamic objects or something. What am I hitting? Oh, I'm hitting the warthog inside the base. You go around that. And I think I want this over here to be how I transition into that smoothly. Yeah, look at that. There's a little valley there. That looks good. We're getting there anyway. Kind of shows there's stone right exposed there, so these are probably embedded in the rock. Who knows? And it gives us some texture to this area. Some nice, much needed texture to this area, and blends it into the ground very nicely. And then I can work with that for how to build the other structures around here. I feel like this crater does not look any good. It's too... This one needs to be the one that's perfect. Like, the other craters are okay. They're much more subdued, and they're in the back of the map, so they don't need to be as flawless looking. Oh. I think I need this to be a little bit different, because that doesn't look any good there. If I could raise it up and tilt it so that I have all of the same kind of design as I had it before with the rock. Oh, actually I turned that off apparently. There we go. That looks good with here. Looks pretty good over here. Needs a little bit of work. That might be on this thing to scale it a little bit and move it over. Yeah, okay. There we go. So I like how that looks over there. Let's see. Oh, has anyone noticed that the extra small flame FX is bugged? I believe its kill box is bugged out because it kills me when I'm like 5 feet away from it, and it sucks because I want to make torches. Really? I had not noticed that, but that does suck. I wonder if that's a whoa, all the way up there. I wonder if that has something to do with what they're working on right now. If it wasn't bugged before, but it is bugged now, then it might be related to the fact that they're adding scaling to you know, effects. If you know what I mean, like if they're in the middle of adding scaling to that, and then like they're kind of like, you know, yeah, you see what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense yet, but yeah. Let's see. It's been bugged. Okay, so if it's been bugged for a while, then maybe that's not the case. But it could be, it could still technically be related a bit, but if it's been bugged for a while, then it probably is not. Okay, so what does this look like down here? It's looking pretty nice actually. And you can kind of go up here. And then I can make a kill zone, a soft kill zone up there. But I can let you still get up the hill a little bit. Which would be interesting to do if you like came up here and like there's a sniper up there and you could to your enemy base, you know? You can get up here and like, you know, take them out. As like a little tactic you could do at some point, especially if you're on a mongoose going around like the outside of the map. Like let's say you capture that zone and then you make your way this way as that sniper is trying to, you know, take your allies out. You can come around here and you know, and flank them up here. That might be pretty cool. But yeah, that definitely looks nice. And it looks especially nice like with that rock because the way that sand looks like it fell down that way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm beginning to like these horrible mountains that I built. They were pretty bad looking, but now they're looking pretty nice whenever you combine them with the stuff down here, because they're not so sheer and weird. And it creates a sort of area over here for you to have encounters with. I like the idea of being able to get up onto this building a natural way back here as well, so I'm going to have to focus on figuring that out to make that a real thing later. Oh, jeez, I just realized it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I am. I'm gonna need to get off soon. I lost track of time. But yeah, so if this hill goes up to... Okay, here's the thought. This one's raised up off the ground as its aesthetic. This one, I think, is going to be exactly flush with the dirt. What is happening? Better. With the... Was that because of some kind of weird texture on... Maybe not. Oh, what the heck? There's a problem with the collision box on this object. Or something when scaled up to this size. Or scaled down to this size. Or it's just Forge bugging out because it does do that sometimes. Let's see, I get that clunky walk sometimes too. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do that sometimes. It falls all the way into the ground. It's the scaled rough terrains. Oh, is it caused by it? Is it in the match? Will it do this whenever I go to like load into the game and play it for real? Because I definitely don't want that. Oh, I can't even sprint right now. Okay, now it's working. I'm pretty sure. Oh, darn. So I do need to not use this, or I need to change its scale. Is it a bug that's with the scale? Like if I make it smaller, will it fix it? Like if I bring it down and sort of bring it to the same spot onto there, but then like... Yes, it appears to have fixed it. So there are specific scales you cannot use this rough terrain on, or else it causes problems. So if I scale it smaller horizontally, or maybe taller vertically, or shorter vertically, or something like that, then it should fix it. Okay. It happens to me when I use little ones, to blend hills to flat terrain. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I really like it as a blending tool. I like it a lot. It looks like it's going to be fantastic in that spot as a way of blending all this terrain together. Now, I am going to bring this down. Oop, I don't mean to be bringing it down vertically. Actually, maybe I do for now. I wanted this to be just a little outcropping that they chose, or possibly even built to become their spot for this. Sort of like a little cylinder, a little red ridge here. They might have, you know, built into or built onto. If I can get the right angle, that would be great. Let's go a little bit higher, but then tilt it a bit. At some point I should add up all the time it took me to build Waterworks, because I would like to know. Like, open an Excel doc, you know, and really make it. This does not look good how it is. I feel like the ridge needs to be more sharp up, you know what I mean? Like they built it onto this ridge and maybe hollowed out the rock there in some way. But yeah, use one of the Gulf Mound terrain pieces. Happens to me when I use little ones to blend hills to flat terrain. Gulf Mound terrain pieces? Isn't that what I did? Which one is Gulf Mound? Is it called Gulf Mound or is it something else? Oh, terrain flat or terrace terrain? Ah, this one is what you're talking about. Yes, it does look like the mound from previously. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I could do that. I was kind of trying to hope that it would imply it's made of stone, though. But you're right, actually, I could still do that sort of stone lip in that regard. Yes. Yes, you said yes. So I could, like, what I'm thinking was, the reason I was using that was because I liked the idea of having some kind of stone there, like the UNSC had sort of planted their base, placed this, and sort of like dug into the rock or something. Which I could theoretically do this way, actually. Or even that the crater caused the damage to the rock, and they're just taking advantage of it. This would actually work very nicely for that. But I want it to be more natural looking. Ooh, that is a perfect circle. I don't think it'll come out. I don't think it's going to come out naturally looking. Because of the way that I've got it set up. Because it's like a perfect circle. Okay, let's see if this is coming out any good. Let's see. I like to, you know, you gotta try stuff. I think I'm gonna embed the staircase into the sand a bit. Like that. And see how that looks down below. Not bad. Technically. I don't know, not perfect either. Maybe I don't, do I want the ridge at all? Okay, if I use this one, let's see if I can go back to this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the slope on that side. I like the idea of this thing to make it more natural. Nah, ditch it. Yeah, if I, how about the ridges on this side, right? And then I've got slope on the other side, like that. Like a natural sort of looking slope on the other side. And it sort of gives me a bit of room to play with and make some interesting like bumps and hills, and maybe incorporate a little more into that hill, or rotating where the slope is, and then extending it. So it kind of goes into there. Ooh, that looks nice. On this side. And then put the ridge on this side so it kind of blends into that rock, that sort of like vein of rock there. That looks much better than what I was doing with it the first time I was trying it. And I definitely like it. The one question is, do I need to go... Nope, not that direction. Come on, I'd be able to tweak, thank you. But I want to go maybe a little bit more flat that way, so that it can have more ridge over here. You can go up farther, and it seems a little more flat with the staircase. Yeah. Although this transition into that rock is no good, and I want to kind of bring it a little closer. Ooh, that looks nice. The rock is coming up onto the top a little bit. Like there's like a... Yeah, now it looks like the sand, like the rock has got layers, and there's sand gathering on those layers. It makes it really nice. This part is a little iffy, so maybe bring it this way to keep those little ridged areas, but change how it transitions on that side. That looks a little better. And then it's just about this smoothness here, and the lighting may fix that a little bit whenever I bake that. But yeah, what are you saying? Nice. Yeah. I'm liking this. This would definitely have helped if I done it this way, and wanted to make it more of a mound. But yeah, I liked that suggestion. I think this is more of what I was trying to go for. It also puts a little path here, going underneath the stairs, which is cool. And then you got to jump up here to go up here, which also kind of makes it to where assaulting the stairs from this direction isn't necessarily as good as maybe, you know, clambering straight up onto the ledge. And I don't think I'm going to put railing on this platform. I'm probably just going to leave this platform open. Maybe if I do, I'll put it in the middle on each side, but not on the corners. Also, that's one of the things I was talking about. Like, they've got all these options that are really cool, that I love, like the rails. Let's go to that real quick, so I can just harp on this for a second. Okay, you've got these railings. Awesome, 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 and awesome, and awesome, and cool, and then you keep going, and it's really cool, and then, man, I want to use this one. I want a 45-degree turn in my railings. That's really built into it. That's fantastic. Cool. And then I'm going to want to make it do the same thing over here. I want another 45-degree railing. Oh, wait. They don't have one. So, yeah. They don't have the other side of this. This is basically all you got. So this is all what's telling me that they are probably, like, this is inner and outer turns, so that they can be used like, you know, more like this. Like across from one another and work out really well, you know? So, but the point is that basically, yeah. So that what I'm trying to say is, I think that like all of this kind of thing tells me that they clearly have a tool. There's no way that the Forge team that made all of this stuff that makes so much sense, didn't think to put, you know, they made scaling and they made all this stuff, but yet they didn't put another version of each of these for a left and a right turn, right? Why? Why wouldn't they? And the only explanation I can think of is that either they are currently working on a mirror tool that allows you to place this railing and then say, yeah, I want to, maybe even like, maybe even in the object properties, and have a little object property, you know, setting that you just flip and it goes LR, you know, left and right. And they're either working on something like that, or it's just a blanket tool, like something you hold down this button, and there's a button there that mirrors it. You know what I mean? Either they're working on something like that, or they're working on, or because it's in beta, they just haven't mirrored those objects yet, and eventually they're going to drastically increase the number of objects by adding mirrored versions. Either of those is very possible, but I have no idea. I guess I could just delete this and put another one later if I wanted it. Sometimes on those, like these objects, I just like to hold on to them in case I forget that they exist. Or they like to watch us struggle. Yeah, or they like to watch us struggle. Or they like to see that we see these pieces and we go, oh, cool, you went through all this trouble to make this piece. Well, I'm never going to use it because, except for like once in a blue moon when it just happens to be the one, I only need it on one side and I don't need a mirror. So just coincidentally, I can use it. But most of the time, I'm going to have to do stuff like this, which I'm going to probably put something in the middle there to make it look like they're coming out of a little post. A joint option would be also very helpful. Just like something that looks like, like these, pieces here that fits into the middle of two at like any angle or something like that, or maybe have a couple of them for different joints. That would also work, and then they wouldn't have to mirror anything. But if they're planning on making a mirror tool, I would imagine that that's all that they're planning on doing is releasing that, or something to that effect. But yeah. It would also be cool if they made a joint object that, like, it's a round piece, but, like, it can bisect it at an angle, and you just progress a little bisection thing. They have it in Blender. You can just make a little, like, a donut object, and then just, like, toggle this one value, and it sort of just slowly cuts into it and bisects it, which makes it like a circle, like a Pac-Man circle, or you can make it go all the way out to a half circle, or go all the way out farther, into a little wedge. And if they did something like that for the railing that just looks like this piece, wrapped all the way around in a circle, and then just one progressive thing that cuts into it all the way around. You could make it any angle you wanted. It'd almost be like scaling. But yeah, I basically reset my map properties, and it's still kind of there. With the lighting thing. Then it might be a reflection volume thing. Cool, so the sand is actually built up on the bottom step, and that kind of looks cool. I like that. Because it's like people have been coming up and down this. I also need to, you know what? Oh, I need to ungroup this. Yeah, it's at the right height. I like this height. We're going to keep this height. So I don't need it to be all grouped together anymore. And what I'm going to do here is go down to the dirt layer and add sand to it. Because that's what we need. We need grime. Needs to be set to sand. Where's sand? Is it sand? What was the one that I was messing with earlier that looked good? I'll just put it to 100 so I can see it. Huh. Weird locations. I'm surprised they didn't put them as like footprints going up the staircase. You know what I mean? I would have put giant like footprint marks on the stairs as where this texture applies itself. And just like they kind of like that one that I just created. But what probably happened, well, I did reset it. Gotcha. Did you reset the reflection volumes though? I mean, have you placed reflection volumes and then reset it? Is what I mean. Have you placed reflection probes and then baked the reflection? Is what I mean to say. Do you know where the "This is Madness" decal is? Oh no, I've seen people use it. I don't know where that is. Is it in decals, obviously, but I actually don't know where that is. Where are the decals again? Are they in effects or are they in accents? I always forget where they are. I went into them earlier today, so I think it's in accents. I cannot find it anywhere. Let's see. A lot of the times, those are like really hard to find, and then like you'll ask somebody. This is what I'm looking for. Where are the decals? Where are decals in general? No, it's not effects. It's like hello, primitives, props, lights. Oh, it's just right here, decals. Okay, here we go. Building signage, letter, numbered symbols, numbers, UNSC. I wonder if it's one of those hidden objects. They've got the, let's see, entrance, exit signs. I'm gonna assume, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's, whoops, that it is, that it's, that's one of the hidden objects that people have found a way to hack into. Someone hacked into the game, made a map that I think you can go get access to, and in that map, what the hell happened here? These objects got left out of the lift. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We left a contingency for that. I am going to add them into a prefab. And eventually, and I'll keep looking for things like this, and I'll put them into a prefab all together and move them all up at the end. Because I still have this column here to go off of. But yeah, So I think that what happened is there's an object, for example, it's like kind of like a grav lift, but it's like called like a gravity slider or something like that. It's weird. And people are using it in some of their maps because there's a map somewhere. I don't know how to get access to it. I forgot. Ocom, I think, has access to it and had offered to give it to me if I needed it for waterworks for the grav lifts in the middle of the map. To replace the ladders with, but I was like, nah, I don't really need it. But basically I was like, it's something where you there's a map available, you go into it, you select one of these objects that have been hacked into to get access to that are hidden from us currently because they're unfinished, and you can make it a prefab, download that prefab or save that prefab to your profile, then place that prefab into any other map you want to use, is I think how it works, or is how they have it set up to where you can just grab them and use them. But like I said, it's they're hacked and they're not finished, so I didn't want to use them because I'm like, yeah, they could release, they could delete them from the game files, and then I would not have them for my map would no longer have them, or they could be adjusted and it might break my map because of some code change. It might try to load it up and then like break the map, and then yeah. So I opted not to use them and just use regular grav lifts. But yeah. Speaking of the new regular grav lifts, I haven't pulled up the new ones yet. To find out, I wanted to see, this is gravity lift banished, kinetic gravity lift invisible, kinetic launcher invisible. So what I wanted to see, and I think it's clear, that arrow tells us exactly what I want to know, is that already, is that I think, the launcher horizontal forward 150, arc height is 1. So the idea is you put this, bring this back to like 5 and straight up. Why am I not able to move? God damn it. This bug hits me every now and then, and I'm not sure what causes it, but I think that does not fix it. I can go up and down, but my joystick is doing nothing. Does anyone know how to fix that? So I think that probably that decal is one of those. Is what I'm trying to say. Is one of those objects that people hacked into. Yeah, I can't move forward. I can do it with the mouse and keyboard, because all it does is lock me out of my joystick controls. But anyway, the point is that, okay, cool. So you can change the height. You can change the arc angle. Not to be confused with archangels. Okay, vertical, horizontal. Okay, the arc height is there, but the vertical, we want the vertical to be a lot more. Let's see. Like if we went 10. Nope, that's way too low. Let's go like 40. And then that means it's gonna go up and arc back down. Hey, look, my joystick's back. Okay. So something just fixed that. Apparently if you edit the values like that, then it fixes it. Horizontal. What is this? Is this rotating it? Hey, it is. Looks like it. Sort of. I put it to negative. That's one of the reasons why. It's not rotating, it's just being weird. Okay. Anyway, the point is, this is probably something you would want at 0. So it goes straight up. And then the arc, the forward is where you'd want that at only like, 2. And then, yeah, arc height. Oh, don't want that high. So this is a grav lift. I'm trying to see what I'm trying to play with right now, by the way. Is I was thinking there are some grav lifts in Halo 2 Anniversary that I was playing with, and they're probably in Halo 5, and they're definitely in Halo 4 as well. That okay, light comes out of those, right? Or are they 100% invisible? You just use effects to place them? Yeah, you put effects into them to make your own effects for what they look like. Otherwise, it should launch me now. What the hell is going on? Are these broken, or did I break it by changing the settings all over the... Oh, weird. Did I do something with the settings that made it weird? Do I need to set the arc height to 0? Oh, the arc height is at 0 already. Don't know. Maybe that has to have a value. I need to just move the spawn points over to that building. Because it's getting weird. That's how it's supposed to work. So basically what I was trying to say is that they have grav lifts that launch you up and forward. This is how it's supposed to work. What is it doing? What am I doing wrong here? Am I... Okay, here's the question. Am I supposed to... Yeah, perfect. Am I supposed to angle this back and then put a forward momentum? Like, is it not supposed to be flat? Am I supposed to go forward much farther? Am I doing something wrong? Who knows? It's certainly straighter arc instead of having that weird... Huh. That's interesting. I want to try that. I want to see what this does. I'm going to go for the ghost. It'll be faster. And heck, I can launch myself with the ghost. I wonder if you can... One of the things that I wish gravity... Yeah, this is not right. Something's happening. Wrong. I wonder if I have to uninstall and reinstall to make these work, for example, because I know there are a lot of bugs that are happening right now due to... that people have to reinstall the game to fix. Okay, vertical, let's go to 0, and then just, what? Why did that go to 0? And then rotate it this way, right? And then increase this, because it might be that something is going weird with the gravity effect. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to hold it down. Tank is definitely slower than Warthog, so we're going Warthog. Alright. And then we're gonna hop out over here. Woo! Hello. Oh, alright. Yep, okay. Let's see. This is definite... Ooh, wait, nope, it almost worked better. Has anyone else played with these? Do these work for you guys? Is it me? Is it my game bugged? I have no clue. Because this is definitely wonky, definitely wacky. And I don't believe that that is how it is intended to work. Let's see. I think I'm going to raise this up, because I want it to transition into that hill a lot better. But also, you know, smooth everything out. So just let me know if you guys have tried the gravity lifts and they've worked for you properly, because that was very clearly not right. Very clearly something wrong was going on there. I kind of wanted this to be a gradual slope up to that side anyway, up to this thing anyway, and that's what this slope was all about. But I had to move it because it was clipping into this. So I'm liking this look a lot more, and I might have to go with a little bit of something that's going to smooth that out. But yeah. Still feel a little iffy about that, so I think that what I need for that is yet another... Could not build, not enough physical space. There we go. Yet another one, but smaller, over here, clipping into these, into this, somehow on the very edge, to sort of create some, you know, rugged terrain here. It also doesn't get too far into my crater. Maybe I need to scale it up actually and just bring it down so that's under the crater, and put the highest points directly under here. Something like that. But this is going to be really hard to position because there's no telling what else it's fiddling with, you know? Because it's so big. It could be coming over here, interacting with that, and being all wonky like it is. So I think I need to bring it up more. And then use it like this, sort of. Maybe this won't work. That's what I'm looking for, because it will be constantly interacting with this other stuff over here and over here. And I mean, that's not bad, but Jesus Christ, that would be terrible to drive out of that ramp onto there. Yeah, no, it would have to be like, you'd have to have the ramp would have to be in one of the holes of it, and the crater would, I mean, maybe I need to switch the holes. Go like this. And maybe a little bit tilted. Maybe that's good, because now that's a little weird. Let's see. Make it a little more flat like that to transition a little better. And maybe flatten the whole piece, bring it down to like there, and then flatten the whole piece back down lower. And then I could kind of angle it into that. Give us a little transition on that spot. Thusly. See if that works a little bit better than the one I had before, which I believe it does, to the point where the one I had before can almost be deleted. Like this piece. Yeah, it's practically not even exposed anymore. And I really much prefer the way that works and looks. So yeah, that's probably the one we're going to go with. Which leads me to believe that a similar idea on the opposite side would be better. Let's see, if I go down here, nope. If I go up here, that works. And if we go like this, we could theoretically make that jump clamor I was talking about a little bit nicer, while also pulling off some better crater design. I have no idea how this is going to play out with everything else, but it doesn't look bad. What is this piece, and is it the other one I had put in there? Or is it this one? Oh, it is this one. Maybe an intentional giant hill there would be cool. Like that. Sort of marry them together in a way. And then get over there, over there. Kind of cool. And then we gotta, I'm looking at microbiomes is what's gonna be what I'm looking into next. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Didn't want to delete the floor, or the roof there. That kind of looks better, to be honest. By the way, sandbags as like cover will be really cool to use here in various locations. So anyway, I'm gonna put this in between them. Like that. Sort of merge those two very bumpy pieces together with a kind of a smoother spot. Yeah, this is looking good. That looks way better than it did before. Yeah, perfect, exactly. That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I think that was actually the grav lift you were talking about with the yeah, perfect. But yeah, no, I think this looks much better than it did before. And it kind of creates this little, like, let's see if that little bump is too much. With a little bit of experimentation on that ramp, I think it's just right. Maybe I should do like I did with Waterworks and put teleporter at the spawn point, and then use that teleporter throughout the, put the other end of the teleporter wherever I'm working at the time. That way I don't need to move the spawn points around, but I can always have them in a good spot, in the same spot. But yeah, this is perfect. Alright, going underneath is really cool. Yeah, man, it makes this other stuff look like terrible. Look at It's all too smooth over here now. Oh, let me make sure there's none of that weird bug. It's not doing it right now, so I think it's fine. Let's see about over here, though. Yeah, it's not going... Let's go. Okay, that's great. And then, but that also means that basically, yeah, it's like, if I'm attacking this base... Wow, you can even crouch jump up here now. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if that's a good idea, so I think I might put the railing on this side, and then let you clamber up here, but actually put some railing across this side. Which would be pretty cool, to be honest, especially if I put some of this railing and some 90-degree turns on the outside edges. You know what I mean? Yeah, that might be nifty. I just realized, though, gosh, it's 2:41. I usually do not go this long. It's been a really productive one, stream, you know. But I might need to get off because my kids need to do some schoolwork today. And that's, yeah, very important. Now, look at this. You can now assault into this other base. I actually kind of like this. When I raise the building up, I might make these taller so that they actually protrude a little bit higher, which would mean you could jump over them, but you need to maybe clamber over them. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have a little lip here you can kind of like crouch down behind for anybody who's like right outside the base, you know what I mean? And kind of get some cover for. It'd be kind of interesting. And I might even put another ramp on this side, actually, like a little slope. Kind of like this staircase over here, but not as extreme. But yeah, this is how high I need to make this whole building. So once that's that high, and then I raise these up to sort of be above it, I'll need a ramp to kind of get up there instead of a... So maybe not a clamber point, but instead a ramp coming down this side onto the sand. But yeah, and then this tower is going to be the highest point of the bases, so that if you really want a sniper tower, this is your best bet. It's still going to be dwarfed by those, though. That's the idea. I wanted these to be so tall that even this really tall building that feels really tall whenever you're inside of it is nothing compared to this. You know what I mean? Speaking of, I might actually, instead of putting an opening here, which would be kind of looking a little bit unusual, actually, you know what? There's one thing I want to try real quick. I know this is really ADHD. I'm like jumping all over the map, doing all sorts of stuff, but this is how I would probably do this if I was off stream. Halo design set. What I want to do is doorways. I want to try... let's undo the rotation. Let's switch to 45 degrees in case I need to switch it. And I want to see what it looks like if I put this here. That's too big. And I don't believe this is going to have, if I switch this to dynamic, yeah, it's not going to have different sizes. So the other doorway, this one, might be just right. Let's see. And if it is, look at that. That does look pretty much just right. Wait, what? Oh, no, hold on. Thought I was closer. That was in a very different spot. It is not just right. Let's see. If I put this here, actually, I probably would want to line it up on this corner. I could put that there and have that be the way out of this structure. No, I do want it lined up over here. I think that makes more sense visually. And that would be cool onto like a platform that has like a helipad on it. That'd be pretty cool. Helipad on the roof would be cool too, but I think I'm going to make the roof like not really as accessible as you would think it would be, you know what I mean? Like the middle thing, because I can't make these dynamic objects have holes in them to climb through or to have a staircase go up through. So instead it's got to be over here, because these all have to be dynamic to rise up. So I'm stuck with whatever shape it is, you know, right off the bat, and it snaps into position there. Another idea, though, is that I take this, I guess I could have just duplicated either of them, and I put this here, and make the, to replace this one, and I make the, you know, let's do this, please. And then I basically could, then now this can just snap back into that position later if I want to. I could have like a little balcony coming out right there, and do the same thing I did down here. I really could have just duplicated this one for the other one, and it would have been the right color and the right size and everything. And I could do something to this effect. And then have the or even there and there. But the point is, I could do something like this. I guess where I put the door is going to depend on where I put the slopes, the ramps, the staircases to get up. So yeah, maybe I should put a outdoor staircase on this side that goes up, like crisscrosses all the way up. You know, like a fire escape. That might be cool. Anyway, I am rambling on, and like I said, it's really late where I am. Honestly, I've got to get lunch. I got to eat something for lunch. I'm getting hungry. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is be done for the day. I know I've probably lost everyone here. Anyway, because I said I was going to get off a second ago, and then everyone usually leaves right whenever I say that. Even if I stay on for another like 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. It's like, what's his name? What's his name? Ludwig. Ludwig says, cold end. Do not do all of this meandering like I'm doing right now. Just say, all right, bye, and then leave. But anyway, the point is that I don't do that, and I explain why I'm leaving and what I'm going to do whenever I get off and stuff like that, because I'm building something, and I know that you guys are going to be interested in what I'm going to do while I'm off stream. But then I don't always do that, so maybe it's not maybe it would be better just to do a cold end. But the point is that, yeah, I think I'm done for the day. Oh, well, actually, hold on. I'm not yet. What would happen if I put one of these here? Like if I did like another bulge shape coming out the side, instead of making it just one cylinder in the back and then a wide cylinder, or one thin cylinder in the front and a wide cylinder in the back, what would happen if I put, you know, another cylinder sort of shape coming down from that? What would that look like? Let's delete that, put this one back where it was, close up that door, experimentation door, and go with this experimentation and see how that works. Okay, well, I guess I'll do that. Position again, I was hoping it would duplicate downward. What the heck? These are... oh, okay, no, it's just in position wrong. Okay, cool. I thought something had gone wrong. There we go. That doesn't look bad. It looks kind of cool. It's kind of all of the things I had said I might do combined into one. And then having a little platform off of that. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll keep experimenting. It kind of looks weird, but it kind of looks cool at the same time. It would need a column here where they join, because the way it joins looks a little wonky. But I could theoretically, and this is going to look bad because whenever you duplicate more than one object. Hey, you can hold down the duplicate button and it makes... Are you serious? Dynamic objects may be just about... Their mess-ups may just be related to the fact that we're not holding down the button like we do with the with prefabs and stuff like that. Like, not exactly there, but you can kind of get the idea. Well, maybe exactly there. Kind of looks like it's clipping into it. Yeah, it's clipping into it on the right. Maybe it's about the rotation. It looks like some of them are clipping in more than others, so yeah, never mind. I think it did just duplicate it and mess up all the rotations of the objects. So, yeah. Anyway, the point is, there you go. That might look good. That might be what I do. But I'll think about it. I think it needs some other shape, like a sharper angle here, like a straight edge. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm meandering on too long. Everyone's quit. Everyone's left. I gotta go. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. This has just been me, like, ending the stream for way too long.